Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Holton Talks. You're joined by me, Scott, and Jamie tonight. Jay, you okay?
Yeah, good man. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. If you're not already, go and subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow us on TikTok. We are looking ahead to the Everton game on Sunday, 4:30, Super Sunday. Villa are at home. Obviously had a good result against Spurs in the Cup at the weekend. Everton slipped up to 1-1 draw against Sunderland. What are you expecting from Everton?
What, from the game itself or from what they're going to bring to the game?
Whatever floats your boat, really.
All right. Well, I'm actually quite a big admirer of Everton and the players they have. I don't think Njai will be back, obviously. I think he's their best player, alongside Jack, who was suspended for the FA Cup game. I think there's a few people that didn't know how that kind of worked, but I think it's FA Cup when you get a suspension in the league. Sorry, it carries over through to the FA Cup, but it's League Cup. It's kept separate, I think. So sadly he served his suspension on the weekend, so he'll be back, which actually could be a good thing because it might a lot of talk about the atmosphere recently at Villa, so that might kind of help with the atmosphere, him playing. But I mean, I think anyone we play at home, I don't think we should take a point at all. And obviously, same goes for Everton. I think if we play anything like we can, if we're even 85% of where we're at, I think that would be enough to get 3 points.
Yeah, their last 6 in all comps. They've only won 1. They've drawn 3 and lost 2. I think the last league game they were down to 9, weren't they? Because Michael Keane got sent off as well.
Wolves won it.
Yeah, and they drew 1-1, which, listen, Wolves have picked up, don't get me wrong, but I think obviously it's a disappointing result regardless. And then I didn't see the game, but it just seemed like, a lack of discipline. I've seen Grealish's red card, 2 yellows, and I saw what Michael Keane got sent off for. Maybe it was a bit unlucky, but the rules are the rules.
They tried appealing that as well, and it just got turned away.
Yeah, I mean, it's stupid, but the rules are the rules. It's there in black and white. He's not the first player to do it, and they've all been sent off for it, so they couldn't really have any arguments. I mean, they're sitting 12th. They got 29 points, 4 points off 7th, which would obviously be probably Europe. Feel like they've kind of dropped off slightly in the last few weeks, really. The Christmas period's probably hit them quite hard. You touch on Njai, he's not there. Garner Gay as well. He's still away at AFCON, so they'll both be missing. I think they've got a few other injuries, but on paper, and like you said, Villa at home, you would expect Villa to come away with 3 points. I think the Grealish factor probably raises the atmosphere, and I think 4:30 on a Sunday is a good kickoff time. Going on what Ollie was saying about the Forest atmosphere, but we might have a few new players by then, which we might as well touch on now because it seems to be really hotting up today. I'll touch on Conor Gallagher first. Looks like he's going to Spurs, and as of recording, he's not gone anywhere, but does look more likely that he'll end up at Spurs. Thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I mean, just before I've jumped on, there was the "Here we go" from Fabrizio. So basically saying that we went in for a loan, and obviously they've done the permanent deal, offered more money, more transfer value, more on the transfer. It's a straight transfer, not a loan. More wages. I think they offered over 10 million more than what we were offering on the transfer fee. So suits Atletico Madrid more. He's from London. All 3 clubs he's played for in England are from London, so his family will be there. So I can understand from a personal perspective in that aspect of it, but I think like your old man touched on in our group chat, I feel like any player at the minute that chooses Spurs over Villa, you have to question their ambition. In my opinion, yeah, I know they're playing Champions League at the minute, but they're not going to be playing at what it looks like at the minute. They're not playing no European football next season, unless obviously they win the Champions League. But yeah, it's just I feel like don't get off topic, but when we first came up to the Prem, the first team we played was Tottenham, and we lost 3-1. And it felt like Spurs were a billion years ahead of where we were at that time, and now it feels like we've taken a step further than them.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say swapped over because they're much better than obviously we were when we got promoted, but I feel like we're now in the position that they were in when we first got promoted. We're that team where they're not, that they're not before the season, you're not going to think, okay, they're going to win the league, but they're going to be in and around the Champions League spaces every year, and that's the kind of vibe I get. And Spurs aren't that at the minute, so I really struggle to understand why he's gone to Spurs. Again, you have the money, you have the location, but Birmingham to London isn't as big as what people think it is, especially if you come from living in Spain. But yeah, it's a shame, really, because obviously I know Guinea's 31 now, and no one's like McGinn. He's very unique, but a similar kind of player to McGinn in the sense
Yeah.
of no respect, but they're ratty, like the box to box. They're ratty. They're in your face. 25. Say Guinea's only here for another couple of years. Perfect replacement for McGinn. And we noticed McGinn goes off in the 60th minute, 65th minute, 70th minute. If you can bring a Gallagher on who's European quality, it would have helped the squad as a whole. Do I think he improves our 11? No, but he would have been a good squad player to have. So initial thoughts is that I'm unhappy with the fact he's gone to Tottenham. I would have liked him, but it's not something where I think we can do better, if that makes sense. Like, it's out there for us to do better. It would have been a good signing, but we can do more than Conor Gallagher, in my opinion, for where we're at.
Yeah, see, I would have taken him 100%. And what we were obviously seeing earlier today was loan with a 25 million fee, which would have been great business. But listen, if it's not going to get done, it's not getting done. We've not got him now, so we're doing fun without him. I'll throw a couple more names at you. Tammy. Now, I'll also throw out Marlon because it looks like Roma have inquired. I don't think there's anything agreed, or it's in kind of maybe in Marlon's court. And then the flip side of that is the Tammy link. Just a quick kind of sum up on both of them.
Marlon, I feel like if you had to offer me, it sounds weird, but if you had to offer me between Marlon being sold and bringing Tammy in and a slight gamble on it, I would probably take the Tammy gamble. And
Yeah,
you have to let me explain a bit. Marlon, we've had for a year. I think he's only started 7 or 8 Prem games, I think. Good off the bench, good squad player. But how Emery plays, he doesn't fit the out and out 9 by himself. And he doesn't fit that narrow 10 role, which he's played in. So we've tried that, and from minute 1 in the game, it doesn't look like it works. It looks like it works off the bench, but not from minute 1. Tammy, I don't know if you remember, I think it was the summer of 23. We wanted to sign him, but he'd done his ACL, I think.
yeah,
I think it might have been when he was in Milan, I think.
yeah,
Anyway, he'd done his ACL, and Unai wanted him then. And we know what Unai has an eye for talent. Off the top of my head, I can't think of one that's generally his signing where he's got wrong. Because we know a lot of these signings that have come in that have been loaned out have been Monchi signings. All the signings that we know that Unai have done, I think a lot of them have been hits. I can't think of any misses off the top of my head. So he wanted Tammy all the way back then. He wants him again now. You're not bringing someone in fresh who hasn't played in the Prem before and who hasn't even been at the club before. He's done all that. And I think that people have been looking at his record. I think he has 7 and 17. I think I want to say off the top of my head for Besiktas this season. But a striker of what Tammy is, you feed off your chances. If they're not creating any chances, then he ain't going to score. It's not like it's a player that can make something off his own. I don't think he's that sort of player. But it's hard to score goals in any league. You look at John Duran. I think Duran's got 5. Duran's only got 5 goals for Fenerbahce, so he has more than Duran. So, and we know how good Duran is, and it's a different profile to Wally. I know he doesn't like competition apparently, but it's a different profile to him. If I don't know if it was loan or transfer, I'm not sure. I saw a fee yesterday, but I can't remember off the top of my head, but it wasn't that much. But it's a complex deal because I think he's with an obligation to buy for Besiktas. But if it got done, I'm seeing the positives more out of that than what I would have been with Marlon going with a negative aspect, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a tough one with Marlon. I kind of feel like he's flattered to deceive a few times. I think he looks good in some games, and in other games, he doesn't. He is better off the bench because he doesn't really make too much of an impact when he starts games. And maybe he was brought in to maybe do the Diaby role from like a couple of years gone by and be that like false 9, sit in the like hybrid 10, that kind of role, but it's not quite worked, is it? And like you said, he's not started a lot of games. So if you were to get a good fee for him, you would say yes, it's probably good business. And I would definitely take the punt on Tammy. I think he's only 28. He's, really coming into the peak of his career now. So we've obviously signed another striker today, the young kiddie from Metz, who I think is English, plays in France, but has been capped by Luxembourg. I think he's got 3 caps for Luxembourg and he's made 5 senior appearances for Metz. I mean, I've seen a few things dubbing him the next Lukaku. Do you know much about him?
I know that he was born in London, moved over to Luxembourg. I don't know why, but moved over with his family when he was young. Obviously, grew up there. Start like he says, made 3 appearances for Luxembourg national team. Started all of them. Didn't score, and then changed his allegiance to England. And I think it was the under-17 setup he went into, and he was made captain straight away of that setup. And then, yeah, obviously Mets. I know he started the season, but that's all I know. I know I know he started against Lyon, which was quite recent. But I know they played PSG, and I don't think he got any minutes in that game. But I know he started against Lyon, started the first game of the season as well. £10 million for now a 17-year-old. He turns 17 today. Is a lot of money, but again, what I was saying about Tammy, Unai doesn't get many misses. So if this is an Unai transfer or if this is the new matey that's come in, I don't know what it is, but £10 million for a kid that young says a lot, in my opinion. I think he was the first ever in Europe's top 5 leagues, was the first person born in 2009 to have had a start. So I think that says enough. I'm excited by it. He looks better than he is for his age, if that makes sense. Because the way
Yeah.
he's built, his footwork for someone his size is good. And with Unai as his coach, I mean, if he does come in the first team setup, it's the possibilities and the potential is endless.
Yeah, I think it's probably more of Roberto Alabi doing the signing because we've obviously
Yeah.
seen Allison come in now and now this kiddie, which his name is gone out of the top of my head. I can't remember it.
Brian Maggio.
There you go, Madjo. That's the one. I think there was a few people thought Allison might get some minutes against Spurs, but obviously I think he picked up a little niggle in training, so we'll never quite know. Back to Everton on Sunday. I think, is it City United? on paper, obviously, City should smash United at the moment. But is it a case of we need to make sure we get our job done in case City do slip up at United? Because we didn't miss a trick last in the week, games in the week against Palace when City drew. But is it a case of City could drop points against United, a survival option, a derby game. We just need to get our job done.
Yeah, I think as well. I'm still in the mindset of looking at teams below us. So as long as we still keep winning, the teams below us are going to keep dropping points. You know, if we can go into the Newcastle game and get a result from that, whether it be a point or three, because our record there is so bad. If we were to, in my head, I'd probably take a point in that game. So it makes the Everton game a shoe in to be like 3 points. If that makes sense, you've got to get 3 points against Everton to give yourself a touch of leeway in the Newcastle game. If that makes sense, because that Newcastle game is tough.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have to keep winning, have to keep prodding along, and it's our home form. You know, if we can keep picking up points on the road, even Palace away, a lot of fans would have taken a point before the game. I know their recent form was bad, but a lot of fans would have taken a point and a clean sheet before the game.
Yeah,
we got that. We got that, and good performance on the weekend in the cup. Win on Saturday puts us in good form against another informed team in Newcastle. Hopefully, we can get, like I said, get a form of a result then. And by that time, we might have signed Tammy. We might have signed Marmoush online. You don't know. There's the links come from out of nowhere. The Gallagher one only came about a couple of days ago, so it's interesting. The January month is always interesting. There's games, a lot of games, and we just have to keep prodding along and doing our business on the sly.
Yeah. Score prediction for Sunday?
I have a weird feeling we'll keep a clean sheet. I'm going to go 3-0.
Strong. I think if I'm doing it, I think I've done my Super 6 already, and I think I put 3-0 Villa as well. So no, I think I put 2-0.
Strong.
2-0 Villa, I'm going for.
If we both said that, it's destined for a Jack last minute off his left bollock, you know what I mean?
I mean, it would be interesting to see how Moyes plays that, because he was fuming that Grealish got sent off. So does he keep him on the bench maybe and bring him on?
I reckon he plays, especially with Iliman Ndiaye not there. That's their main outlet, him and Grealish. So I imagine he'll play. I'd be surprised if he didn't.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. Right, that'll do us. We will be back after the Everton game. Maybe we'll have some more transfers. As he should be back. He's not on because he's moving. Like I said at the start, go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go and follow us on TikTok. And all that's left to say is up the Villa.
Not the Villa.